global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happenings Today YouTube channel. We are already on countdown on 2023 elections, and most of us, including my humble self, do not know that there are a lot of activities lined up that could actually land us in jail if we find ourselves doing that before, during, and immediately after the elections. Now, if you are in Nigeria or you will be participating in the forthcoming general election, or you're even a presidential aspirant or a candidate, a gubernatorial aspirant contesting, please, you need to pay attention closely to this news as the bills are set and Nigerians really need to know where they stand so that they don't find themselves in jail. Well, before we go into the newspaper, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the right subscribe button beside it. You see that notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as you update our channel on YouTube. Well, the Senate has passed a bill that seeks to establish an electoral offences commission policy ahead of the 2023 general election. The bill is currently being considered by the House of Representatives. It also prescribes a 20 years jail term for anyone who propagates information that undermines Nigerians' independence, sovereignty, and territorial integrity, as well as causes people to vote on the basis of religion, tribe, language, or regional consideration. The proposed law also seeks to impose a jail term of 20 years or a fine of 40 million naira on those who destroy electoral materials such as ballot boxes, ballot papers, and other materials used for conduct of any election before, during, or after the election. Obstructing the counting of ballots after an election, singing, dancing, or making loud noise 3 hours to the commencement of any election or during the election will now be an offense when the bill is established. The bill makes it mandatory for employers to allow their staff enough time to go and cast their vote on election day, while specifying a 6 million naira fine, punishment, or 3 years in jail for those who disallow their staff from going to cast their vote. It, however, exempts members of the armed forces, the police, state security services, that's SSS, other security agencies, and those considered to be on essential duties. The bill states that, and I quote, "No person shall propagate or cause to be propagated anything or information that A. undermines or is capable of undermining the independence, sovereignty, territorial integrity, or unity of the Federation. B. promotes or is capable of promoting feeling of enmity or hate on the basis of any religion, community, caste, tribe, language, or territorial region, or C. causes or is capable of causing people to vote on the basis of any religion, community, caste, tribe, language, or territorial region. Any person who commits an act in contravention of subclause 1 of this clause shall be guilty of a serious electoral offence and liable on conviction to imprisonment for a term of at least 20 years without an option of a fine. No candidate or agent of his or any other person shall grab, loot, damage, or destroy in any manner ballot boxes or ballot papers or any other electoral document or material before, during, or after the election, or take or attempt to take or cause to be taken ballot boxes or ballot papers or any other electoral document or material before, during, or after an election without the permission of election official in charge of the election at a polling station or election official in charge of the electoral materials, or abet to the commission of such act or cause obstruction of any kind in any manner to any other act relating to an election. Contravening the provision of this section attracts a sanction of at least 20 years in prison with an option of 40 million fine. That's 40 million naira fine. Any person who commits any act in contravention of subclause one of these clauses shall be guilty of an electoral offence and liable on conviction to imprisonment for a term of at least 20 years or a fine of at least 40 million naira. The bill further states that no payment or contract for payment shall, for the purpose of promoting or procuring election of a person or candidate at any election, be made A. On account of the convenience of voters to or from the poll, whether for the hiring of vehicles, vessels, or animals of transport of any kind whatsoever, or for railway fares or otherwise, or B. To or with a voter on account of the use of any land, house, building, or premises for the exhibition of any address, bill, or notice, or account of exhibition of any address, bill, or notice, subject to such exception as may be allowed in pursuance of this bill, if any payment or contract for payment is knowingly made in contravention of this clause, either before, during, or after an election, the person making such payment or contract shall be guilty of an illegal practice, and any person receiving such payment or being a party to any such contract in contravention of this clause shall also be guilty of an illegal practice. A person shall not let, lend, or employ for the purpose of a conveyance of voters except family members to and from the poll any vehicle, vessel, or animal or transport of any kind whatsoever which he keeps or uses for the purpose of letting out for hire, and if he lends or employs such vehicle, vessel, or animal for transport, knowing that it is intended to be used for the conveyance of voters to and from the poll, he shall be guilty of an illegal practice. Nothing in subclause 3 and 4 of this clause shall prevent a vehicle, vessel, or animal of transport of any kind being led to, or hired, or employed, or used by a voter or several voters at their joint cost for the purpose of being conveyed to or from the poll shall be allowed. Wow, this is quite interesting. The question is, are you sure that the Nigerians, the politicians at some point will not break, if not all the laws, safe? Because the truth is, Nigeria is fantastically corrupt. We have very great laws, but the question is execution of the laws, or even punishing those who truly have been found guilty. Laws are really not a problem to Nigeria. We make good laws. The question is to enforce the laws. That's where the problem lies. And sometimes the enforcement of these laws, most times, are always two-sided. That's why most Nigerians believe that the law are for two persons. There's those who are above the law and those who are under the law. And if you are within the bracket of those above the law, this law may not even concern you, unfortunately. But I pray that just as I'm trying to pass this bill into law, I pray honestly that they will enforce it full scale, and it should not be one-sided, okay? Because yes, we need to protect the image of Nigeria. It is long overdue, but let's hope that the law will not be one-sided. That's our prayer, and I also pray that we give those who are to enforce this law the willpower to do it regardless of whose earth is being God. That's a good to wrap it up. Let's meet in that comment section.